Fortify Fit Pro. They can improve muscle synthesis,
Fortify.com.
strength,
Hi, this is
and
Dr. Michael
endurance.
Lang,
All
certified
three, triple
optometric
whammy,
physician,
right?
certified
I gotta tell you, folks,
nutrition
it
specialist,
works.
and the founder of the
It
Lange
is
Eye Institute
evidence-based
and Fortify Vitamins. I've
on the
hosted the
latest
very popular
clinical
Ask the
science,
Doctor
the
program
latest
since
studies.
1993.
We've used
I
the
educate you
exact
on the latest advancements
ratios
and
that
natural
were in all the
approaches to
studies
eye
in the
disease
Fortify Fit
and total
Pro.
body wellness. I'm
So,
Dr. Michael Lang.
I highly
helping keep
recommend,
America fit and
and I
healthy.
endorse it
The
100%.
Lange Eye Institute in the
Fortify
Villages
Fit
and the
Pro.
Fortify
Give
Nutrition
it a
Center on
try.
McMullen Booth
See
Road
what
in
you
Clearwater.
think. If you
Online
don't like
at
it,
Fortify.com.
I'll give you money
And listen
back.
to Ask the Doctor Saturday morning at 9 on AM 860 The Answer.
Maybe it's hours a day spent in front of a computer screen or poring over documents and diagrams. Maybe as you get older, you struggle later in the day to focus on your favorite book. Whatever the reason that you find your eyes tired and that you struggle with eye fatigue,
Dr. Michael
it's
Lang,
time to try
board-certified
Fortify
optometric physician,
Focus.
certified
Fortify
nutritional
Focus
specialist,
contains the
and the
powerful
founder of the Lange
ingredient
Eye Institute and
astaxanthin,
Fortify
a natural
Vitamins.
supplement
I, along
discussed
with the
time and again
Fortify
among those in the eye
Performance
care
team,
community as a
developed
powerful
something called
solution
Fortify
for
Fit Pro.
fatigue due to
They can
eye
improve
strain and
muscle
blue light
synthesis,
exposure. Natural
strength, and
astaxanthin, the
endurance.
key
All
ingredient
three,
in
triple
Fortify
whammy,
Focus,
right?
works
I
at
gotta
the
tell you, folks, it
mitochondrial
works.
level to
It
support
is
improved muscle
evidence-based
endurance and recovery,
on the
helping to
latest
refresh your
clinical
tired
science,
eyes
the
and more
latest
fully
studies.
enjoy
We've
all
used
that
the
you see.
exact
Order Fortify
ratios
Focus
that were in
today
all the
at
studies in the Fortify
fortify.com.
Fit Pro.
That's
So, I highly recommend,
fortify.com.
and
Or
I
call
endorse it 100%,
866-503-9746.
Give it a try.
866-503-9746.
I'll give you money back.
866-503-9746. And at fortify.com.
You've heard about the benefits of omega-3 fish oils. Study after study on the effect of omega-3s on everything from heart health to emotional well-being. Get them.
I'm Dr. Michael Lang. We want to age as gracefully as possible, don't we? So is there enough evidence out there that proves that certain specific nutrients, ingredients, or supplements can enhance, our skin, our joints, our hair, our nails? And there's a lot of great science that's come out recently with marine collagen tripeptides, riceramides, hyaluronic acid, and there's a new supplement called Dermaval. Well, we've taken all four of those and we've combined it in a supplement called Rejuvenate. 3 delicious flavors, chocolate, cherry vanilla, pink lemonade, and then we have it unflavored for those of you that want to just put it in your coffee in the morning. It's worth a try. I endorse it, obviously, 100%. If you don't like it, we'll give you money back. It's as simple as that. So check it out at Fortify. Board certified optometric physician, certified nutritional specialist, and the founder of the Lange Eye Institute and Fortify Vitamins. I, along with the Fortify Performance team, developed something called Fortify Fit Pro. They can improve muscle synthesis, strength, and endurance. All three, a triple whammy, right? I gotta tell you, folks, it works. It is evidence-based on the latest clinical science, the latest studies. We've used the exact ratios that were in all the studies in the Fortify Fit Pro. So I highly recommend, and I endorse it 100%, Fortify.
The Hood. It's time for Ask the Doctor with Dr. Michael Lang. Sponsored by Lange Eye Institute and Fortify Vitamins. Dr. Lang is a board-certified optometric physician and certified nutrition specialist, helping people see and feel better through proper nutrition for 25 years. The doctor is in. Call now with your questions at 813-282-8283. That's 813-282-8283. Here's your host, Dr. Michael Lang.
Okay, good morning and welcome to Ask the Doctor. I'm your host as usual, Dr. Michael Lang of the Lange Eye Institute and Fortify Vitamins, here each and every Saturday morning live to answer any and all questions you may have regarding your vision, eye care, or a nutritionally related topic. So don't be shy. Pick up the phones and give me a call. I've been hosting Ask the Doctor since April of 1993. I tell you, time flies when you're having fun. I do want to welcome once again WRNO in New Orleans. We were on the hour before this in New Orleans. It's a little bit hour. It's a different time. And I will be live in New Orleans. I think it's March 21st or March 22nd, whatever that Saturday is. Coming in town. My daughter goes to Tulane and coming in for a sorority shindig. And we'll be in the WRNO studios live, whatever Saturday is, March 21st or March 22nd. That's a few weeks from now. And the live call-in number will be coming through Salem Media. So I'm going to give you the phone number right now. Write that down. I want you New Orleans boys and girls from NOLA to give me a call regarding vision, eye care, a nutritionally related topic. Maybe any of the old guys from Sam Barth or Ecole Classique will give us a call and say hello. Anyway, the phone number, if you want to call, is 813-282-8283. That's 813-282-8283. If you're new to the program, who's Dr. Lang? I'm a board-certified optometric physician. I'm a certified nutritional specialist. I have degrees in psychology and physiological optics. Founded Lange Eye Care and Associates March 15th of 1993, and then Fortify Vitamins about 25 years ago. Fortify Vitamins is a nutrition company. Our motto is right ingredients, right science, right for you. Fully transparent nutrition company, all evidence-based supplements. We work on developing supplements that are actually good for you, not just good for our pocketbook. So I always say, learn to read labels because that's very important. When they have a proprietary blend, they're not really proud of what's in it, so they don't want to tell you what's in it and the exact ratios. We tell you exactly what's in our products. You can learn more about our supplements and look at the science and all the clinical studies at fortify.com. Remember, I'm an eye doctor, so it's kind of a play on words. Fortify, that's Fortifye, fortify.com. Also, you can come to the Lang Nutrition Center in Ocala, Florida, right on State Road 200, upstairs on my old Lange Eye Care building that's now kind of a wellness building right across from the mall. We're open Monday through Saturday there. You can come to Fortify Nutrition Center on McMullen Booth Road here in Tampa Bay, right in the Bayside Bridge Plaza, right next to Publix. And of course, I hail from the Lange Eye Institute, along with Dr. Susan Somerton and Dr. Lori Caputi. And this morning, I have a welcome guest who's no newbie to talk radio. He's a pretty famous plastic and reconstructive surgeon in the Florida area. I got to tell you, he's got some experience when it comes to these procedures. I've known Dr. Posser, Dr. John Posser, for about 31 years, maybe 32 years now. And we work very closely together with a lot of procedures, facial procedures, and, full body reconstruction. So, Dr. John Posser, welcome to Ask the Doctor.
Well, it's nice being here, and thanks for the invitation. And we always have fun, and there's a lot of crossover between plastic surgery and facial, surgery, reconstruction, and eyelids and vision. So glad to be here to discuss those issues with you.
Yep. All right. We're going to start the morning out with a phone call bright and early. So let's go to the phones. Let's go to Rich in Gainesville. Rich, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Dr. Lang. Hey, it's great to listen to your show. I just wanted to say, first of all, you and your team have really changed the lives of myself and my wife with all your great advice and especially your great Fortify products. I had a couple of questions. One, so we're in our 50s. I've started working out, inspired again by your team, by Scoobs and his results. And I've been taking a lot of your products. I take the whey protein. I take the Fit Pro. We're taking Rejuvenate. I just had some labs done, and my AST and my ALT and my hemoglobin kind of went off the charts. And my doctor's starting to go through a bunch of tests. I'm trying to guide this myself because I feel like there's a couple of other things that could be kicking in. Is there also, I think your enzymes and your probiotics, we started taking those also. Can any of those products elevate the AST and the ALT, and maybe just the workout. Like, I know that she had said, hey, if you're doing anything strenuous, and I'm working out like I'm 20 again, so I don't know if that in the first few weeks can be causing those to elevate. Do you have any thoughts on those? And then the other second question I had was, if you could please say the name of the gentleman that does the blood labs, that runs the full biomarkers. We want to, in addition to my wife wanting to see Dr. Posser, we'd like to go see him too, if that's okay.
Okay. Yeah. So the blood test is called SpectraCell, and go to spectracell.com. Okay. And spectracell.com, and you can find a doctor that does that type of blood work in the area. And then certainly John Posser, Dr. Posser can be seen in Ocala. What's your phone number, Dr. Posser?
Yeah, we have an office in Ocala in Dr. Lange's building, right across from the mall on Highway 200. It's 352-372-3672. So we can see you there, and we do minor surgeries there. We do major surgeries in Gainesville. I also have a new office in the Villages that I can do certain surgeries on there too.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk a little bit about, these might be just coincidences that these are elevated. You know, ALT measures a level of, it's like an enzyme, alanine is what it's called. And it's primarily, if it's really, really elevated, I mean, it can indicate potential, liver problems. All right. Which hopefully you don't have, but it can be mildly elevated and not be a problem at all. Let me ask you this. Do you drink much booze?
No, I don't drink at all. And she actually ordered an ultrasound, a full abdominal ultrasound to be safe, right? Until I redo labs.
Right. Are you on any medications right now?
No, I'm taking your product that has the cognizine in it, so I wouldn't even count that and the other things I mentioned. So no, I don't take anything.
Right.
Really.
Now, what about your hemoglobin? You said
everything was good on it, doctor, except for the first one, which would be the I guess it's the what's the main hemoglobin?
I mean, was it your blood count, or was it hemoglobin A1C?
We didn't do it. The A1C test is more for diabetes.
Right.
Is that correct? No, it was the basic panel, and it was the first one that's like is it like a sugar measure or something? It was higher than usual, but not, it was like right on the margin of where it would be high.
Right. So how much do you weigh?
I weigh 160.
All right. So you're not overweight. Yeah, I would just, follow up with your primary care physicians that's doing all those blood tests, do the recommended tests that they're doing, and then certainly keep me posted. Do you have my email address? Because you could always, I mean, I can talk in a lot more detail via the internet or even the phone. So let me give you my email address. Excellent. All right. You got a pen?
Excellent.
So it's,
I'll play back the podcast. You're giving me all the information I'm looking for in this one podcast.
iDude92 at iCloud.com. I'll spell it out for those of you out there. EYE, like I, and the dude, hey dude, DUDE 92 at iCloud.com. That's the letter I, cloud.com. And you're in the gym, or you're working out at home, or you're doing some sort of exercise, right?
Yeah, so I'm biking. I'm doing mountain biking, like off-road, to try to get a good workout from that. I'm doing your whey protein in the Fortify Fit Pro ahead of time, and then I'm doing just the Fortify Fit Pro as a follow-up, and then I'm doing the whey protein at night. You said like a little cinnamon, kind of keep my hypertension down with that, and I'm doing at the same time I do that, I do the collagen Rejuvenate. And then I'm doing free weights. I'm doing just dumbbells, pretty much working out maybe an hour every other day.
Mountain biking is amazing full body exercise, not only for cardio, but for every muscle in your body. And so I'm a huge mountain bike fan, and have multiple accidents on my mountain bike. That's why I'm limping again. So do you go to San Velasco, or do you go to Santos Trails?
So I'm doing like off-road on the Sun Trail. Like I've got like some of the guys at the bike shop over here I've got a cutthroat, no suspension. So I am hammering my body a little bit. I'm doing about 20 miles a day. I cut it down from like a longer ride.
Right.
less pavement, more gravel and off road.
So do you ever head down to Santos Trails and do any of the red trails?
No, they're trying to get me to go, but I'm spread so thin.
Right.
I'd love that. I'd love to do that.
You got to find the time. It's an adrenaline rush. They got green, blue, red, and double blacks. You don't want to get on the double blacks unless you have a death wish. But you really have fun. It goes by really quick, and it's a full body workout. There's nothing like it in the South, really. Santos Trails has the best mountain biking in the entire South, and they got two trailhead bike shops right there as well.
I'm going to check it out, Doctor. I made the mistake of doing a GoPro of my little ride here, and my wife watched it and said, "You can't do that." And I'm like, "No, I have to do this. I can't be on the pavement anymore. It's just too much fun."
Right. All right. Well, keep me posted. Take advantage of that email, and good luck, and we'll get everything ironed out for you.
I will do it. Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you to your team.
All right, Rich,
have a great
take
day.
care. All right, so we got a few more people on hold. We're going to take those calls in just a second, but I just want to talk about the meat of the matter briefly, pretty quickly. All of our patients, especially a lot of patients that we deal with in concert together with Dr. Posser, have dry eyes. You think about it. When you hit 40, 50 years of age, your eyes start to feel sandy, gritty, burn, tear, itch. These are all symptomology of dry eye syndrome. And as you get older, you don't get moister, you get drier, don't you, John?
Yeah, like with everything else, our water levels go down. We start out as children at birth at 90% water level. As you get older, it goes down about 80%, and that includes everywhere in your body, including your eyes. And one of the main issues with dry eye is that, it's a constant itching, and you rub your eyes, and it creates more problems such as stretching out the skin of the eye, causing meibomian glands to get infected. And eventually, if you don't take care of it, it goes from acute phase to a chronic phase. You develop biofilm, and biofilm is really bacteria that puts out a shield of kind of polysaccharides, and it's pretty hard to knock out the bacteria. I work with Dr. Schultz at the University of Florida on this with wound care and other areas of the body, not just the eye. So one of our major issues is trying to break down the biofilm, and actually Dr. Lange and I are working on using dry eye materials with hydrogen peroxide in it to break it down. So maybe in the future we'll have a dry eye drop that will actually work and kill the biofilm and get rid of the bacteria too.
Right, a drop that lubricates and reduces meibomian gland dysfunction and blepharitis all with one eye drop. That'll be really kind of cool. And so we'll keep everybody posted on that science right now and that research that we're all involved in. But in order to help a dry eye, we want to use a good lubricant in the eye. And the two lubricants that I like are Optase, Advanced Dry Eye, or Optase MGD. And I also like Oasis and Oasis Tears Plus. So either Oasis or Optase, you can't go wrong with that. And then, so we lubricate them, we have to clean the lids. And right now, I like Optase has one called tea tree oil wipes, lid wipes. And we clean the lids is really good. So we clean them and we lubricate them. And then we heat the gland. So just a warm washcloth or a mask you stick in the microwave for 20 seconds because we want to open those meibomian glands. And then we nutrify the glands using a good omega-3 to start with. So Fortify Super Omega, or if you want the whole kit and caboodle, you get Fortify Advanced Dry Eye Therapy. Fortify Advanced Dry Eye Therapy has 3 bottles in a box. It has our omega-3, our Fortify Focus, and black currant seed oil GLA. Those 3 work synergistically together at decreasing dry eye symptomology and helping to open the meibomian glands. You can check all that out at fortify.com. Go to the section Eye Health, the eye health section, and you can actually buy them from the website or you can get them through your local eye doctor. And we're getting ready to go to the phone, so stay tuned. We're going to talk about 2 innovative technologies, Lumenis Opti Light and Lumenis Opti Lift, non-surgical, non-invasive ways to help dry eye and make you look a little younger too. But let's go to, I think, Jerry in Ocala first. Jerry, good morning. Thanks for holding, my friend.
Thank you. Welcome. Good morning, Dr. Lange. I got a question on the urinary tract and the prevention of infection. And I thought you might have something in your line of medicines that will help with this, or some other recommendations.
Wow, that's a good question. And I'm going to let Dr. Posser chime in a second. I mean, for UTIs, I mean, That's really out of my wheelhouse. I mean, drinking plenty of fluids, all right? Lots of good water, all right? Even putting some lemon or lime in it, something with a little acidity in it. For that purpose, I'm thinking more on the line of kidney stones, because I'm somewhat of an expert in that arena since I had kidney stones, and I don't ever want another kidney stone. So I had to learn about that. And so I drink water. I drink a lot of water with lemon or lime in it. And I avoid certain foods. Believe it or not, I avoid spinach, almonds, and beets. Okay. And the reason for that, spinach has the highest amount of oxalates of any food known to man. And we talk about spinach being good for you. Well, you get one kidney stone and you'll stop the spinach. Beets are very high in oxalates, and almonds are too. So you can substitute kale and baby leaf kale for spinach. The oxalates are very low. You don't have to have any beets, period. And you can substitute, pistachios or cashews or macadamia nuts for the almonds. And so drinking plenty of water, throw a little lemon or lime in it, maybe even apple cider vinegar diluted first thing in the morning. And I would be very careful about getting in hot tubs on cruise ships, all right, that are either overly chlorinated, or if they're not overly chlorinated, they're filled with all sorts of things like Pseudomonas and bacteria, even acanthamoeba, that can be nasty and can crawl up your urethra. But I'm going to let Dr. Posser chime in a little bit about UTIs and stuff.
Yeah. On TV, you actually see a woman who is just the average girl who apparently has had a lot of bladder infections. They have 8 different materials in the product. So for me, the best one is acetic acid, which is apple cider vinegar. Acetic acid is something we use in all the wounds in the body. Bacteria can't grow in it, including Pseudomonas. So between the hydration, which most people are dehydrated, they don't drink enough fluid, especially older people are notorious for this. And older people do get more bladder infections. So drink at least 2 liters of water a day, and apple cider vinegar maybe twice a day. Actually, in the old days, for 4,000 years, going back to Greek times, everybody had apple cider vinegar, and they had it right at the dinner table. But after World War II, we went over to our pharmaceutical friends, and they all of a sudden natural cures like that disappeared. So hydration, apple cider vinegar, I think will slow down anybody's UTIs.
How much do you drink? How much do you drink?
Apple cider vinegar, you're talking about, or water?
Yes.
All you need is like about 4 ounces. Like a
4
shot.
ounces at a time.
Yeah, like a shot.
A day.
A shot. Yeah.
4 ounces
in the morning and at night before you go to bed. It helps your digestion too, by the way. It kills bad bacteria in your gut. So not only helps your urinary tract, it helps your GI tract too.
And make sure you dilute it. Don't drink it straight, Jerry. If you drink it straight, you can actually burn your esophagus. So dilute it with water. And then it's always a good idea after using apple cider vinegar to brush your teeth, because we don't want to erode the enamel on your teeth. So brush your teeth after doing it. And then also, there's some evidence about cranberry juice, cranberries and cranberry juice is supposed to be pretty good as well. But remember, cranberry juice is very high in sugar. And so eating cranberries, eating pomegranates, things like that, it's probably better than drinking the juice because it's so high in sugar. Now, Jerry, there is a time that you can have sugar, all right? Even if you want that banana split or that pumpkin pie, right after pumping iron, right after working out, right after playing golf or tennis or riding your bicycle, any type of exertion, you can have protein and you can have sugar then, because that's when your body can absorb it to replenish your muscle glycogen.
Thank you very much. How much do you dilute the vinegar? Half?
Yeah, I would put a shot to 8 ounces, 8 to 10 ounces of water.
Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate this so much.
All right, Jerry. Thanks for the call. Have a great day. And then obviously, stay in touch with your primary care physician. Obviously, if you have a UTI, then you're going to want to get it treated probably with antibiotics as well. The whole key here is not to get a urinary tract infection.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, Jerry. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. You're listening to Ask the Doctors. It's myself, and I, and Dr. John Posser. So Dr. Michael Lange and Dr. John Posser. I'm an optometric physician and certified nutritional specialist. Dr. John Posser is a plastic surgeon and reconstructive surgeon, and he practices in Gainesville, Ocala, the Villages, and oftentimes in Tampa also. We're broadcasting from Salem Media here in beautiful Tampa Bay. And after the show, we're heading over to Sarasota. So Fortify Vitamins is actually one of the sponsors of the Optometric Management Symposium at the Westin in Sarasota. So I'll be there after the show. I'll get there a little before noon. I'll be hanging out with Tasha at the booth, talking to doctors from all over the country today and tomorrow. And we have a couple of dinners tonight. We got to hit 2 dinners. So I'll probably just have protein at both dinners. And I always say, you know, if you're on a weight loss, anti-aging regimen, you know, what should you eat for supper, John? What?
Well, protein is the number one thing at night. You don't want a lot of calories, carbohydrate calories at nighttime. It keeps you awake. It shoots up your insulin level. Protein helps you sleep and also helps you rebuilding your muscles as you sleep. So that's the best thing to take.
Right. So it's kind of like the carnivore diet. Breakfast and lunch is a little more forgiving. And for supper, how about a good grass-fed ribeye steak or a porterhouse? Or you can have 5 eggs, some chicken, whatever, but just protein. This is for you guys and gals that really want to lose weight, want to stay in shape, want to be ripped and looking good on the beach when the summer comes. So you think about it. Most people are having, their spaghetti and meatballs and their French bread and their 2-liter of Coca-Cola or their wine. And then they're also having, their dessert. And so they're loading up on carbohydrates right before they go to bed. So when you're sleeping, what are you doing? You're having to burn carbohydrates before you burn any fat. So you don't burn fat at night, you get fatter at night. But if you just had a nice ribeye steak, you have no carbs in your system. You had that 5 or 6 o'clock at night, you pretty much burn all the glycogen before you go to bed if you go to bed at 11. So when you're sleeping, for your heart to beat, for you to respiratory, to breathe and swallow, and in your dreams, you're burning fat. So you're a fat burning machine when you're sleeping. Then you wake up first thing in the morning, go for a walk or ride your bike for an hour before breakfast. And let me tell you, you are a fat burning machine. You can lose weight really, really quickly. Now, to help you out, we've been working on a new supplement, and we've got some prototypes that Dr. Posser is going to be testing soon. And it's called Fit Meal. So it's Fortify Fit Meal. It's a combination of 25 grams of grass-fed whey protein, 4 different 3-to-1 ratio of soluble to insoluble fiber, 26 organically grown, fermented and or sprouted fruits and vegetables, a fat burning complex that I developed, enzymes and probiotics, all in one little scoop. Put it in water, shake it up, drink it down. This is going to be an anti-aging meal. If you don't want to lose weight, you're not going to lose weight. It'll help you just become healthier, but it's a quick way to get a breakfast, lunch, or supper. And if you want to lose weight, it's going to be ideal. So that's called Fortify Fit Meal. It's coming very soon. All right, we're getting ready to talk more about some non-surgical ways of helping meibomian gland dysfunction and dry eye, specifically Lumenis Opti Light and Lumenis Opti Lift. In just a minute, we got a lot of crazy things to talk about. Also, we're going to talk about how we can use this IPL. It's a photofacial to make you look a little bit better as well. And that's one of Dr. Posser's areas of expertise. Once again, if you got a question, give us a call at 813-282-8283. It's good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on what part of the country or what part of the globe you're watching or listening to us. So we're coast to coast in the United States and globally worldwide via the internet on social media. All right, let's go to the phones. Steve in Clearwater. Good morning, Steve. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, it's very interesting, the synchronicity between 2 subjects you've already talked about. First of all, you were talking about biofilms, and then you were talking about UTIs. And the reason that UTIs are so difficult to get rid of is because the bacteria form a biofilm that makes the bacteria stick to the wall of the bladder and the kidney. And not only, that's the way cranberry juice works. It doesn't kill the bacteria. What it does, it's an anti-agglutinating agent in which makes the bacteria fall off the wall, and then you just pee them out. So it's very interesting you brought up those 2 subjects together. And also, one place in industry that this is used is, you in your air conditioner, you have a drain pipe that goes to the outside to get rid of the condensation of the water.
It's
And
always
all the
leaking,
algae.
and there's algae always around it. And my
Right.
dogs gnaw at it. My Dobermans like eat that pipe.
Right. Well, for instance, that gets stuck. The reason they clog is because of a biofilm. It's called Zuglia. And there is a product. Here's what's interesting to me. There is a product that will cause that Zuglia, that biofilm in the air conditioning pipe to break down, and it will clean it out. And I'm wondering what the chemical is in that, and if that could be applied to making a medicinal form of that they use in air conditioning.
Well, I've seen it on TV where the fellow invented a link-in that hooks to your air conditioning system because of the bacteria that it forms. He named the bacteria, of course. Bacteria that grows in that kind of system may be different than will grow in your body. So I don't know exactly what the crossover is, but whatever he has done, he's actually cleared out the air conditioning system from plugging up. So I'd have to research that one. But I was very curious about the crossover to humans too, because it has a similar, our body can plug up too. So that's a very good question, Steve. You make questions that are very hard to answer. Elon Musk might have the answer to that one. I'm going to call him up.
Also, Steve, I got an AC guy that is pretty smart, and he always told me to put vinegar in that. There's a little thing you open, a little cap, you pour vinegar in there so it doesn't clog up and AC doesn't overflow in your house, which has happened many times.
Once again, vinegar is acetic acid again.
Right. I wonder if people who drink a lot would have the benefits, because the metabolite of alcohol is vinegar. And I'm wondering if you drank a lot, you produce your own vinegar.
Well, I was pretty vinegary when I was at LSU and grew up in New Orleans. Let me tell you, I must have been pure vinegar.
Well, they call it Mr. Vinegar there at LSU.
And then I got married, and Tammy saved my life. I think I've had 5 glasses of alcohol over the last 30 years.
Yeah. Another thing too is females get a lot more of those UTIs than males because there's a less distance between the outside of the body and the interior of the bladder. It's much shorter and there's something about the way and I find a way to say this politely. I think for women, don't they tell them to wipe after they go to the bathroom, they tell them to wipe from the back to the front instead of the front to the back or something like that? That's less likely to spread the bacteria.
I don't know. I have to ask Betty Ruth when I get my 97 mom. I'm going to ask Mom, Betty, how do you wipe?
Yeah, I forgot. It's either better because it's less likely to get the bacteria near the urethra if you wipe from the back to the.
It should be front to back.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess you know more about it. We need to ask. That would be Dr. Summerman. It's too bad she's not.
Yeah,
there.
we'll have next week. We'll ask Dr. Summerton. How does that sound?
Yeah. Okay. God bless. Steve. Bye.
Take care. Steve has some interesting questions
Very
to say the least, doesn't he, John?
He always he stumps me occasionally.
Things that make you go, maybe he's an alien.
Well, it could happen. They're coming down, I heard. Elon Musk is bringing them in.
All right, you're listening to Ask the Doctor. Give us a call at 813-282-8283, 813-282-8283. Check out the supplements that we have to offer. I talked about in the beginning of the show, some tea tree oil lid wipes, some different types of artificial tears, Oasis Tears Plus, and Optase. I talked about the Advanced Dry Eye Therapy Supplement Kit. You can get it fortify.com. That's FORTIFEYE, fortify.com. Folks, I've been involved in making nutritional supplements for dry eye patients for over 25 years. And the Fortify Advanced Dry Eye Therapy Kit, I don't want to brag, but it's the best on the market. It's the most advanced on the market, the best bang for the buck on the market. But also, this not only helps your dry eye, it helps improve the integrity of the skin health. It helps lower inflammation in your body, because remember, inflammation is the root cause of dry eye and many ocular problems. All of the itises in the eye are all related to inflammation. So think about Fortify Advanced Dry Eye Therapy. Think about heating the lids, cleaning the lids, and lubricating the eyes. And you can go to the section on fortify.com. It says eye health section, and you can buy all that right on the website. It drop ships to your house in usually 1 to 2 days. We have 2 distribution centers in the country, so you get it really pretty quickly. Or you can call toll free. Here's the number for Fortify Vitamins. I'm going to give it to you twice, so get a pen and paper. It's 866-503-9746. That's 866-503-9746. And Charlene is answering the phones this morning at one of the Fortify. And then Tammy is actually at the Clearwater Fortify Nutrition Center right now. All right. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk more in just a second, but we're going to go to the phones and we're going to see Willie in Bradenton. Good morning, Willie.
Good morning, Dr. Lang. I have a question because most of, your topics are about inflammation, and I have neuropathy very bad in my feet, type 2 diabetes. And I've watched what I've eaten for like 35 years, no drinks, no high concentration of sugar, blah, blah, blah. Well, now I have it at age 73. And the only thing I've gone to a lot of doctors is Duloxetine, Duloxetin, 60 milligrams.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that it's caused by inflammation, and that, if you take turmeric and curcumin, it helps. But when you read about Duloxetine, it tells you not to take that because of, I don't know how it would interact. Is that true? Because I seem to ask my doctors, and they are like, they either poo-poo you or they don't want to say, anything about it.
Sure. So certain medications will have blood thinning properties, okay? And then when you add things like curcumin or black currant or ginger, or even omega-3 in high dosages, or nattokinase or ginkgo biloba, it can sometimes thin the blood out even more, all right? And, there's a fine line between the blood being thin enough and being too thin or too thick. And so the goal of your physician is to try to find that perfect harmony. Because remember, if your blood's too thin, you can trip and fall and then have a bleed in your brain and die. By the same token, if it's too thick and you have atrial fibrillation, boom, you can stroke out and die. I mean, that's in layman's terms. I'm talking thin versus thick, but it's a little more complicated than that. I would follow your doctor's advice, but I think that curcumin, here's one of the problems with curcumin and turmeric. The majority of curcumins and turmerics that you purchase over the counter don't really work well at all because they're not very bioavailable, okay? And so they try making them more bioavailable by adding all sorts of synthetic nutrients, synthetic ingredients, or black pepper. And black pepper works pretty good if you're going to use curcumin for a short period of time. But if you have black pepper biopreme, long term, it disrupts the mucosal lining of your gut and opens up another can of worms. So we have one called Next Gen Curcumin that is fueled by curcugen. And curcugen is the first and the only oleoresin food-grade curcumin on the market. And it's 59 times more bioavailable than what I call the second best, which is BCM 95. So if you are going to take curcumin, consider Fortify Next Gen Curcumin. But I would definitely consult with your doctor. Now, oftentimes, and Dr. Posser will be one of the first to admit this, oftentimes MDs, DOs, ODs, DDSs, they really don't know a lot about nutrition. So they'll just tell you not to take it because they're not sure what it's going to do.
I'd like to add something to it that may help.
My husband buys all his vitamins through Fortified, and he does have that, but he's afraid to give it to me because I forgot to tell you that a little while after having the shot, and I know that's controversial, but I got AFib. And when they went to shock my heart, good thing they looked because I had a blood clot on my heart, and I don't have any history and anything about this. So I had to wait, and now I'm on Eliquis, and the year to date with Eliquis and Metrotropoline, I guess it is,
right,
whatever it is, I got AFib back, and they had to do an ablation. So we do have the next generation of whatever you just said,
right,
but we don't have the BC whatever. See, so when you go to talk to the doctor, he's, and you still thin blood or whatever, nobody wants to commit to anything.
Right.
Do you think could I take that net? Do you think, in your opinion? I mean, I can't,
Well, let me ask you this, Willie, how much do you weigh?
Well, I need to lose about 40 pounds.
All right. So
200, and I'm 5'8".
So probably the most important thing, not even talking about supplements right now, most important thing is to get down to your ideal fighting weight. There's some pretty interesting studies that show that if you're overweight and you lose 20% of your body weight, you're 600% less likely to get another bout of atrial fibrillation. And also with AFib, you got to make sure you hydrate, because a lot of people are dehydrated, and make sure you're getting the electrolytes, potassium and magnesium. So I always say eat a banana and or an avocado, a handful of sprouted nuts and seeds, and drink, half your body weight in ounces of good water, not the faucet water. So we got to hydrate, make sure we have enough potassium and magnesium, take that weight off. I would hone in on that versus adding any more supplements at this time. Then once you get down to your ideal body weight, your doctor can run these blood tests and look at it again. And then we can determine whether or not some supplements are going to be advantageous or not. And you also may want to talk to your doctor to see if you're a candidate about having the procedure done where you can get off of the Eliquis. Okay.
Oh yes. He gave me that.
Right.
Watchman or something like that, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't love blood thinners. I mean, that's how my dad died. He was very active, and he knew it. My dad was a physician. He says, Michael, I really shouldn't be on this blood thinner, but I do have atrial fibrillation. I also don't want to stroke out. But he told me how he was going to die. He says, I'm going to trip and fall. I'm probably going to hit my head and have a bleed in my brain. And sure enough, that's what's happened. And so, but it's a necessary evil. So try to get your weight down, talk to your doctor about possibly getting the procedure done where you can get off the Eliquis, and let's go from there.
One other thing I'd like to add, Dr. Lange has something called Wata in his offices that he sells, and it actually is an ionized water that has free electrons. It's naturally anti-inflammatory. It's a different form of water. It's dioxytetrahydride, invented by somebody who tried to make hydrogen for engines. But anyway, it's anti-inflammatory. And when you talk about inflammation and you're diabetic, inflammation breaks down the myelin. Myelin is made out of fat. So the fatty acids that Dr. Lange uses probably, good for repairing it. If you get the inflammation down, of course, it repairs it better. But also the super water, I call it, Wata, helps with regulating the endocrine system, including diabetes. So will actually help with your diabetes and maybe take away some of the pain you have from the inflammation of the smaller neuro.
It also hydrates better than regular H2O.
Yeah, it also hydrates better.
Right.
Yeah,
and
so
hydration is crucial.
Well, I really appreciate it. And my husband is a faithful listener, and he's turning me into a faithful listener. And he's always giving me, he gets all his vitamins. He's always giving me something, but he was afraid to give me those two things because of what he read about him. So I said, I'm going to call him. So I thank you very much today.
All right, Will, you take care. Have a great day.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And for all of our listeners, including the attorneys, this is for educational purposes only. This never replaces a comprehensive eye evaluation or a medical evaluation. Always see your primary care physician. Always see your eye doctor. Follow their advice. This is just an educational show. You're listening to Ask the Doctors. I'm Dr. Michael Lange, here with my very welcome guest and good friend, Dr. John Posser. If you got a question, give us a call, 813-282-8283. That's 813-282-8283. And I see somebody asking me a question online. Dr. Lange, I've been listening to this show for many years. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. It comes in through loud and clear on WKZY, I think. Is that what it says? And what is the name of that pre and post workout supplement that you created? I should know, but I can't remember. Yep. Fit Pro. So it's called Fortify Fit Pro. We literally have thousands of athletes globally that are taking it. My 97-year-old mom takes it. Fortify Fit Pro is a combination of grass-fed whey protein for the muscles, grass-fed collagen protein for the scaffolding, the ligaments, the tendons, the skin, the hair, the nails, the joints, German Creapure creatine for the muscles and the cognitive ability and the brain, betaine anhydrous for energy and the muscles, peak ATP for energy, without having a stimulant like caffeine. My HMB is amazing for muscle synthesis and strength. Amazing. The studies are just out of this world. And then L-citrulline, a vasodilator, amino acid, and vitamin D, all combined, delicious flavors. You take 1 scoop before you work out, 1 scoop after you work out. If you don't work out, just take 1 scoop a day between meals to help give you the nutrients necessary for your muscles to thrive and not just survive. So it's called Fortify Fit Pro, and you can get it at fortify.com, Fortifeye, fortify.com. So we started off talking about the show, John, talking about dry eyes. And we talked about some natural ways to help dry eye, cleaning the lids, heating the lids, lubricating, and taking omega-3 or Fortify Advanced Dry Eye Therapy. But some of our patients have the gravity acting against their face and their entire body. And the lower eyelids start to get a little puffy and edematous, and the lower eyelid starts to pull away from the globe. And when we see these patients, they get what we call exposure keratopathy. Their eyelids don't close all the way when they're sleeping at night. They get really advanced dry eyes, something called superficial punctate keratitis, dry spots all over the cornea. Almost looks like somebody sanded down their corneas. And they can get a lot of pain. They can get blurred vision. They can ultimately get scarring and infections related to dry eye. And we send a lot of these patients to you for lid surgical procedures, oftentimes to tighten up the lids. But now we have a brand new piece of equipment, just came out, and I'm holding that up for people, and it's called Opti Lift, and it's by Lumenis. And Lumenis makes all the lasers and stuff for the eye and the face. Opti Lift is pretty amazing technology. We're installing that in the Lange Eye Institute in, I knocked over the camera, in the Lange Eye Institute in the Villages. And so the Lumenis Opti Lift is a non-invasive device, and it uses something called DMS and RF. So that's dynamic muscle stimulation, or DMS. It's like frequencies of electricity. And then RF, which is radio frequency, to address this lower lid laxity for people that have impaired blinking. And what it does, it tones all the muscles around the eye. It tones the facial muscles around the eye. So it's a non-surgical solution for a lifted appearance, and it helps dry eye dramatically. The studies show, I'm opening it up, percentage on dry eye, the tear breakup time improves 286%. So people with dry eye and baggy eyelids, the Opti Lift by Lumenis may be really a pretty good option before considering surgery, especially if it's not too bad.
Yeah, that's correct. Like the aging process, occurs at different degrees. Let's compare it to a knee surgery. Well, you may not need a knee replacement right away. You may have injections, and you can get by with it for a while. But eventually, it reaches a degree where you have to have surgery. That's where I come in. But Dr. Lang's right. This equipment, radio frequency, has been around for about 10 years. And what it is, it's a radio frequency wave that actually heats up the collagen. And when it heats up the collagen, anything you stimulate in the body will get thicker. So they use it in other areas, including, women's, private areas for tightening it up. I mean, it's amazing how it works, along with electrical stimulation, which you've seen too on TV, where they hook up muscles, the muscle jumps. Well, you're supposed to do that yourself. You're supposed to lift weights, but if you're sitting around, it's, you hook it up and it'll work, especially on the eye. So you're adding, the muscle gets tighter and the collagen gets thicker. And what happens, it prevents ectropion. When you get ectropion, then all of a sudden you start leaking over the edge, and your eyelid droops down, and the air gets into your eyeball, and that's where you begin the dry eye. And that's why people have dry eye. They have more tears. You think, well, why have more tears? Well, because it's collecting and not doing its job. It's pooling somewhere where it shouldn't be.
Yep. So we're putting the Lumenis Opti Lift at the Lange Eye Institute in our new expansion phase. By the way, we're still hiring. So if you're interested in a job, we're hiring about 15 new employees. You do not have to have experience. Come on by, bring a resume, or set up an appointment for an interview if you want to work at the Lange Eye Institute. So we've got, another 12 treatment and examination lanes that we're adding on to the Lange Eye Institute. And we're going to have a few rooms that put the Opti Lift by Lumenis in. And then also we've actually gone ahead and purchased something called the Lumenis Opti Light as well. And this is the only FDA-approved IPL for the eye and for dry eye. So Lumenis is the inventor of the IPL and the first and only IPL that is FDA approved for the management of dry eye disease due to meibomian gland dysfunction. And IPL is intense pulse light therapy, not laser therapy. It's a frequency of light. And what this happens, these people that have meibomian gland dysfunction, that's why the meibomian glands around the lid margins get really clogged. And those of you that have it know you have it. You've tried things like LipiFlow and iLux and Thermal One Touch and hot compresses, and nothing has really helped. You need to consider the IPL. So this reduces the inflammatory mediators in the meibomian glands. It improves tear breakup time. And it's interesting, and it destroys the abnormal blood vessels that create the inflammation. So it increases the meibomian gland morphology and functionality. And it also, here's the kicker, it decreases or gets rid of the Demodex mites that are all on the eyelashes that add to this problem called meibomian gland dysfunction. So it's a targeted, precise, controlled treatment. This Opti Light, it's light-based, it's quick, it's painless. It's a 15-minute procedure. It takes really 4 treatments, and the results are amazing. Peer-reviewed clinical science shows it works. So if you guys have really, really bad dry eye, you know, the Lange Eye Institute is a destination. You may consider Opti Light and Opti Lift. You'll get a really good deal. It's not covered by insurance when you do both at the same time. But Opti Light also, plastic surgeons and cosmetic surgeons and dermatologists have used it, for a while now for like a photofacial because it helps with the face too. It helps the skin, doesn't it?
Well, it's been around for about 10 to 20 years now, and we use it in my office on many patients. It's a 400 to 1200 nanometer frequency of light, and what it does, brown and red heats up when the light hits it. So in other words, it gets very warm and it starts going away. So all the brown spots on your face or the little capillaries on your face go away. So it's one way, and also heats up the collagen a bit to tighten your skin. So what they've done is they've gone from the skin out to the eye. And my feeling is when it hits the abnormal blood vessels, it heats them up, and it liquefies the oil in the meibomian glands. And at the same time it heats up, it probably kills the mites because they get overheated, and then the inflammation starts going away.
Right. It's a win-win situation. All right. Once again, they'll be at the Lange Eye Institute. It's probably another 2, 3, 4 weeks before we have it all up and going. All right. We're going back to the phones. Let's go to see Anna in, I think it's Sandy Springs. Anna, thanks for calling. Good morning.
Hi. Fanning Springs.
Oh.
Anyway, I've been listening to your show, and about 10 minutes ago, somebody was talking about water, and they mentioned some kind of water that I never heard of.
That's called dioxytetrahydride. I had a naturalist doctor, MD, who was into this naturalism way back before anybody else was 40 years ago, and he guided me to a guy named Rob Gorley who invented this water running through electromagnetic pulse. You can take swamp water and turns it into super water. What it does, it makes a new water that's probably was here 50 million years ago when the lightning hit the beautiful water that was on Earth at the time and actually electrified it. And as in the Krebs cycle, we run on electrons when we eat food, but this water has electrons in it. So it's actually a food with water. So it helps all inflammation. It helps all diseases, especially neurological diseases. So you can buy at Dr. Lange's offices.
And it's called Wata water. You can Google that. Wata, WATTAHH, Wata water. It's pretty cool. It's and it's not snake oil. It really does work. Thanks for tuning in and listening to Ask the Doctor. We're out of here. Have a great day. God bless you and God bless America.